Hello, hello. Welcome to the Animal Action Day for Aussie Wildlife live stream. We are meeting some of the people behind the scenes, some of the legends involved with the 17th annual event. We have with us here in the room, we have Keith Potter from the Seekers fame. He's the founding member of the Seekers, legendary Aussie band, who's joining us from New South Wales. We have Moana Robinson, the sassy stylist from Main Beach and Southport area. We have Felissa Moffat, who is from Create Packs Australia, and Jenny Abbott, who is the founder of Aussie Wildlife, who we are supporting with an amazing event coming up November 19 at the Mermaid Waters Hotel. We've got a full day event on the Sunday, full day of performers and speakers. And Keith, it's such an honour to have you here. And we were just sharing actually that Paul McCartney's been in town from Beatles fame, and he's 81. And they were saying in the Gold Coast Bulletin that Paul McCartney proves that 81 is the new 60. And you've just shared with us your age, and I'll let you share. And you look amazing, I must say, for your age as well.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I turned 82 in March, and I'm enjoying life. I'm whatever it is that's happening in my life is very positive, and I'm certainly looking forward to adding to that by coming up to the Gold Coast to Mermaid Waters Hotel to help out with this fundraising activity on the 19th, Sunday, the 19th of November. That's not very far away.
No, it's only, in fact, 11 days away.
There you go.
11 days away. And I was just thinking, it's the 8th of November now, and tomorrow is 9/11. Tomorrow is like a 9/11, right? If you think about it, I mean, gosh, where did the last 23 years go since 9/11? And it's a reminder of how fragile life is and how it's so important to make the most of every moment. Now, Keith, we had a bit of a chat last time. We shared a bit about your background, how you started the Seekers. Can you share this time a little bit more of some of the highs and lows that you've had through your career? Because we all know that as performers, that it is a roller coaster ride, and you have the big heights of fame, but then behind the scenes, what really goes on behind the scenes?
Well, the highs certainly were very high. They were great. We managed to perform in some fantastic venues. We did several London Palladium shows. We were able to perform on some incredible stages like the Royal Albert Hall and huge venues in Canada and in America. We also did the Sydney Myer Music Bowl, and that was when the crowd numbered over 200,000 at that particular festival. We weren't the only act on the stage, of course, and it was part of the Moomba festival of that year in 1967. And that was certainly an incredible highlight. We also had lots of million-selling singles and number one singles, and quite a few top 20 singles and albums as well. So those were the sorts of highs that we had. And from my point of view, I loved pretty much every minute of it, because I loved the recording work, I loved being on stage, and I loved being a part of our quartet along with three of my absolute very best friends. So that was they were real highlights. I suppose lowlights were when we had to make a decision to disband in 1968. Judith Durham had been a solo singer before. She got together with Bruce Woodley and Athol Guy and me back in 1962. So she really wanted to get back to her solo career, and we certainly didn't want to stand in her way. And in fact, we had an agreement between the four of us that if any of us wanted to leave the group, that we would give the others 6 months notice, and that's exactly what Judith did. So we were prepared for it in that sense. But that's a kind of a business relationship. But then on an emotional level, it's another way of looking at it as well. And so when the time came, it really was quite an emotional disbanding of the group, if you like. But then that gave us the individuals of the group. Then it gave us the opportunity to pursue our own activities, and I stayed on in England because I was married at that time, and I had my son was born, and was born in the previous December, and we were expecting another child the following year in 1969, and then that was when our daughter was born. So those lowlights, if you like to call it that, then became somewhat ameliorated by the fact that there were other things that were happening in our life that lifted the spirits and gave us opportunities that we didn't have before. But I can't really. Well, of course, the major low point was last year in August when Judith Durham died, and that was a huge blow to all of us, because we had been very close. We'd just finished some touring, and we'd also finished recording what turned out to be our last song together, which was a song called "Carry Me," and more of that in a little while. But it was something that we had been expecting, because Judith had not been in the best of health for the previous 18 months or so. And so when the time came, it was a mixture of knowing that the end had come for Judith, but knowing that also that she was now relieved of the pressure that she'd been experiencing during that time with her the official term was bronchiectasis, and it's a condition of the lungs, and it's something that Judith had lived with from an early age, actually, and it always surprised everybody that she was able to produce the tone and the quality of her voice and of singing while enduring that particular issue, which gave her the lung capacity of about a third of a normal person's lung capacity. So that was it. But yeah, August was last year was particularly down for us. Then in September, the Victorian government organised a memorial service for her, and that was when that song "Carry Me" that we had recorded. Well, she had put down her vocal on a demo that Bruce Woodley had written. This song "Carry Me" was written by Bruce, and it was lying kind of fallow for a number of years. But then our historian and friend Graham Simpson suddenly remembered it last year in April, and he played it to Judith, and she was very happy with her vocal. So, and Bruce and Athol and I had not been involved in that recording session. So I wrote some harmonies for us, and we put our guitars and bass on the recording. And Michael Cristiano, our record producer, finished it off by mixing it and adding a little bit of orchestral color to it, and it became the last song that we recorded. And we played the finished product to Judith, and she was absolutely knocked out with it. So it was such a joy for Athol and Bruce and me to know that that we had joined Judith in creating what was to be that last recording. So that's a very long way of answering your question, really, but that's some of the things that straight off the top of my head that I can think of that we went through. But I'm sure other people will have some other questions as well, which I'm happy to answer.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Wow,
Mm,
and I'm sorry to hear about
mm,
Judith.
mm.
And you know, I'm just imagining 200,000 people in 1967 and
Yeah,
performing to that many people. You know, most I've
mm,
performed to or spoken to, I've emceed at Woodford Folk Festival. There's probably
yeah,
10,000 crowd
yeah,
is the biggest.
yes,
I'm just, you know, times
yes.
that's so much bigger. And you know, at Woodstock was actually 1969. You know, Jimi Hendrix, The Who, Janis
Sure.
Joplin, absolute legends. Did you ever meet any of those guys?
We rubbed shoulders with a few of them. Jimi Hendrix, I saw him live at a club called the Cromwellian in London, and I was probably about. It was a tiny club, and I was probably about 5 meters away from him while he was playing. He and his wonderful couple of cohorts. That was a fantastic experience. And I looked around, and standing next to me was Pete Townsend from The Who. So
Wow.
we had a bit of a chat about that. So not that they became great friends or anything like that, but it was always rather lovely to share the stage or the TV screen with them when we were having concurrent record success in the UK. And there were many times that we were in the same studios with the BBC studios for Top of the Pops and various other music programs that were going in the UK at that time, and groups like the Kinks. So we became very friendly with Tom Jones. Dusty Springfield was a huge friend of ours, and we had lots of fun times with her. And it was she who, through her, that we met Tom Springfield, her brother, and he went on to write all those incredible songs for us. So that was the sort of level that we were mixing in. Although, as a group, we tended not to be part of that pop music scene, if you like. We just tended to have friends who were outside the business, and that was one of the reasons I think that we managed to stay relatively grounded during our career.
So you didn't get too carried away with the drugs back then, all the trips and everything floating around?
No, we didn't. I don't know, and I'm just wondering if I can make up for lost time
Yeah.
somewhere. Let's see. Anyone got any clues?
Yeah. Actually, any questions from anyone here? Anyone want to ask Keith something? Just go right ahead. Anyone
Yeah.
got questions?
Oh gosh, I've shocked you all into silence.
I know. Hi, Keith again. Nice to have
Hi,
you back.
Dana. How you doing?
Hello, how you going?
Good.
So when I got off the last live that we did last week, and
Yep.
I was speaking to my daughter because I was telling her that I was online with you, and just kind of giving her a bit of a seeker's history.
Yep.
Because she's got a guitar, she's been playing herself. So my question to you is around, with the way they do music nowadays, with the way things have evolved, well, she's a big Taylor Swift fan, for example, but when you were obviously became so known, you didn't have social media. So how do you find with what you're doing now and that stage, and the guidance of popularity and pop culture and all that? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just really curious from like someone who has sort of gone through the decades, how it's evolved and how you've had to up your skills, I guess, to still stay popular.
Right. Well, it's taken me a little while to become comfortable with social media activities. One of the things that was in our favor as far as promotion in those days was concerned is that it was mainly through the print medium, and so there were two music papers in the UK. There was the Melody Maker and the New Musical Express. And when we had publicity in those magazines, for instance, it tended to be on a positive level. Nowadays, with social media, there's certainly a great amount of positivity in the posts and things, but unfortunately, it also gives people the opportunity to hide behind some sort of anonymity and create the most extraordinary vitriol, which I can't understand whatsoever. So that it actually disappoints me hugely that people can be so vitriolic on social media. So there's a kind of good side and a bad side to all of that. But we, as the Seekers, we have a Spotify page, or whatever you call it, presence, a Spotify presence, and we get our reports each month about how many streams we've had and that sort of thing, and that kind of the pathetic amount of money you get for each stream on those streaming services means that whatever the income is, means you can buy a new pair of socks, or pay half the gas bill or something like that. It really is pathetic. But anyway, that's me having a bit of a rant. But no, I think the beauty of social media is that it's immediate, and the downside is that social media also carries not only the positive comments, but some of the most vitriolic comics and negative comments that I've ever read. So I with my Facebook page, I have quite a few people with whom I disagree quite a lot, but I do not block them or set them. I just I have discussions with them from time to time, and it's interesting to read their ideas and their opinions. So I leave it at that. But it's really good that your daughter. How old's your daughter, Dana?
This daughter's 14.
Oh, 14.
Got
Okay.
a guitar for her birthday.
Oh, the guitar! How wonderful! Well, that's fantastic, and I encourage anyone to learn to play the guitar, or if they don't want to do that, then at least learn to play the ukulele, and that's often a way to.
She started with that, and then she wanted the guitar. Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely, because the ukulele is a great stepping stone, and it can be a very happy instrument. It brings smiles to people's face, the ukulele. But that's great.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Lisa.
Question.
If my father was here, he would probably pick your brains out and talk about everything about, because he's an avid fan of you, and I've come with him on a few occasions and watched you live, and that was when I was younger. Me and the children do have musical interests. I play guitar, play the piano. My son plays the guitar, both acoustic and electric, and I've learnt both, and we sing. So we absolutely love music. It's soothing to the soul. How can you not love music?
Indeed, indeed.
But yeah, you'd be one of my dad's favorite artists that he would love to talk to you today if he was here.
Oh, how lovely. I remember Dana saying something similar last week, actually. So that's great. All right. So we've got two complete fathers who like that's great.
I feel so honored to finally meet you in person and talk to you. Did you ever feel scared at any stage in your career of fame?
Scared?
Scared. Was there ever threats, from society? You have all this fame and it's you think of your fear and protection, all that sort of stuff. Maybe I've been watching too many movies, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do know, and we've been very lucky as a group to have the most wonderfully loyal fans, and also those fans, they show us an incredible amount of respect. So it's just the opposite of being scared. We don't have any feelings of danger or or any trouble in our professional life or in our personal life. I mean, we can go to supermarkets and we can go to this one and that one and feel and if we're recognized, it's always being recognized in the most positive way. And
Right.
comments like you've just made, that that our music has been embraced by families, by their family, and kids have grown up to listen, and they've been brainwashed, in other words, so by our music. So it's all very positive, and that's the best thing about the way our fans treat us, and the way that gives us the chance to react to our fans in a positive way as well, because we love meeting them. I love talking to people who've grown up with the group's music, and if there's some sort of what should I say, influence that we brought to their life and to their surroundings, then so much the better. A lot of people use "I'll Never Find Another You" as a wedding song, for instance. So that's a gorgeous thing, and it just goes on. It just keeps going on, which is really, really lovely, considering the group actually started in 1962. So, we've been hanging in there, folks.
Extraordinary.
And I find, sorry, just one last thing. Sorry to interrupt. I found that now that some of the artists, I feel that they can't think of anything new to come up with an idea of a really good song. So they look back to history and redo it and remask it and have their own personal style. So it just goes to show that back in your time, because I'm from the 1970s, so I grew up and listened to all that stuff. It was great. It was great to have real talent, real talent. You worked hard for it, and it's the best thing that you could ever have. You're not having all this digital stuff. It's it's raw. It's amazing.
Yeah. I take your point, and of course, just lately, there's been a huge amount of attention being paid to the Beatles, Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr reworking a track that John Lennon left them with on a cassette years ago, and there's quite a lot of discussion and dissension as far as people's attitude to that. But it goes back to a group that was formed in 1960. Well, the Beatles, really started in about 1960, I suppose, 62, and they're still being talked about in the most positive way, and bringing joy to millions of people, and it's just fantastic. So, but right the way through, and also today I read in a music column that Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen has been voted for the 5th year running as the best pop song ever. The best pop song ever, Bohemian Rhapsody. And the votes that it got were greater than the other 9 songs in the top 10. So there you go. It's just incredible. And there's a song from whatever it is, the 1970s. So incredible. There you go. Very positive, very positive.
Just goes to show that great music lasts the test of time, right?
Can do.
I'm very curious how you came about the name The Seekers. Where did that come from?
Well, it was a bit by chance, I have to say. Athol Guy and Bruce Woodley and I had we were 4 blokes, actually. So it was Athol, Bruce, myself, and Ken Ray, who left the group in 1962 to get married, and that's when Judith came in. But to go right back to the very start, it was it would have been early 1962, and we were trying to think of a name, and we came up, for one reason or another, we came up with the Seekers, the Searchers, and the Candlelight Singers. So we tossed a coin. It was as easy as that. No, we got it down to 2, the Seekers and the Searchers, and we tossed a coin. And then we chose and came up with the Seekers. And about 5 days later, the pop charts exploded with the English group, the Searchers, having their big hit, Sweets for My Sweet. So it's a good thing that we chose the Seekers, and otherwise we would have had to change midstream. But that was how it happened. And I'm not sure, people read all sorts of things into Seekers, and is it a religious and this one and that one. There must be some hidden meaning, but absolutely no hidden meaning. We just it just came out of the blue.
You're seeking a band name. You're seeking a band name, and there it was.
Well, there it was. Yeah, yeah.
I love it.
And actually, and the Searchers, the Searchers were a couple of the Searchers were quite good friends of ours as well. So we were able to cover all the ground.
I love it. I love it. Now, to be as successful as you were, obviously there was some great teamwork involved, right? It's being in a band it's like a team. So I'd love to hear some of your success tips, I guess, looking back at what really worked well, keeping such a great dynamic to be able to produce such magical, amazing songs. What were some of the secrets to your success, do you think?
Well, you just mentioned songs, and that's one of the cornerstones of the whole operation, is to have great songs, or a great song. Look, you can be a one-hit wonder and still be happy as can be. It doesn't matter. But the song is one of the absolute keys to the whole program of how you make your act a success. Management is another one. We were very lucky to have a very dedicated manager in Eddie Jarrett, and Tom Springfield, as I said, was writing songs for us, but he was also producing other people's songs for us. For instance, Morningtown Ride was not written by Tom Springfield, but we had a big hit with that one, and others as well. So the promotion aspect is really important, but in the 60s and 70s, or before social media, in other words, getting promotion or getting the message out there really relied on primarily on radio, so that you would, if radio picked up what you were doing and liked it, then the records would start to sell. That's a hard copy record would sell. It's not like a downstream, a streaming service. And that was a very, what should I say, a very straightforward way of measuring what your success was, because it was how many records you sold. It was as simple as that. And so that was another cornerstone of the whole operation, was that you had a way of publicizing the fact that you were having some success, and people would relate to that very, very straightforwardly. Nowadays, with streaming, it's rather difficult to, I think, really get a proper measure of who's big and who's not. Apart from if you're Taylor Swift, I suppose it doesn't matter too much, because she's just right up there at number one. But as far as the combination of factors, be the song, the management, the publicity machine, and an act that can be charismatic enough to be able to combine all those elements and be able to deliver. That was another thing that we were able to do as an acoustic group. Was there were a few occasions actually where the PA system, for one reason or another, didn't operate properly, and so we had to perform acoustically in these halls. So we'd be standing on the stage with no microphones and just singing to the audience. So that not many. If you're an electric band, you really wouldn't be able to do that, because we had all our instruments, even Judas playing a little tambourine, and Bruce and I playing our guitars, and Athol plunking away on his double bass, and that was it, and we were singing. So there.
Amazing. Did you still play vinyl records by any chance?
Do I what?
Do you play vinyl records?
Oh yes, I've got a vinyl record player here. Yes, indeed, yes. And I haven't bought any vinyl lately, but I might get around to it. There are a couple of interesting possibilities coming up. But yeah, I certainly have a huge collection of vinyl, including some of ours, but and also some very nice Beatles albums and various others.
Wonderful. I love that. We've got a few questions here from Denna. I know you have to leave shortly. Denna, do you want to just
Oh yeah, when you were speaking, I was just curious. If you were not a musician, Keith, what path do you think you may have travelled?
Well, my parents wanted me to be a doctor, and I was actually studying in that direction at high school, and so I was heading for university. But then music overtook me, and I then decided that was what I really wanted to do. So if I had, in hindsight now, because I love languages, I probably would have gone to university and changed direction, not gone into biology and a medical path, but changed to take on humanities and do languages. And I think I would have enjoyed that. So that's the way it could have gone. But as we all know, that's not the way it went.
Wasn't meant to be. And Felisa has
Felisa had a question. Yeah.
Question as well.
Was it always hard to come up with a new song?
Yes, is the short answer. It is very difficult. We've in our time, I think the only time we really had an immediate follow up was when Tom Springfield followed up "I'll Never Find Another You," and we recorded his song "A World of Our Own." And I think we all feel, again with hindsight, that we perhaps followed "I'll Never Find Another You" a little bit too quickly. We were so eager to get going, and so we've had this hit now with "I'll Never Find Another You," and so that was the time that we weren't actually seriously looking for a song. It was already there, and otherwise there was quite a bit of soul searching really to find the right material, and occasionally sometimes things just happened because we had done a little bit of homework. And a great example of that is Morningtown Ride, where I'd actually found the song Morningtown Ride on a Limelighters album, and that was in 1963. And so I'd arranged it for the group anyway, and so we had that song in our repertoire before we went to England and before we met Tom Springfield. But then when he started writing all those incredible songs for us, we put Morningtown Ride onto the back burner, sort of thing. And it wasn't until 1966 when we were looking for a Christmas record that suddenly we thought about Morningtown Ride, and there it was, and it was a big hit for us in 1966. But again, it was one of those things where you're going through the songs that people have sent us, songs that we were starting to write. Bruce Woodley was writing songs, and Judith started writing as well. I started writing a little bit. It was one of those things where you never knew really where the next song was coming from.
Amazing. And are you doing much touring nowadays, Keith?
I do a lot, yes. I've just got back from Tasmania. I was in South Australia before that, doing some shows, and looking forward to doing quite a bit this coming year, actually, because I'll have a bit of a break the rest of November, and after I've been up to the Gold Coast, and December will be quiet from a touring point of view. But then after Australia Day, I'm an Australia Day ambassador as well. So it means that I generally get involved in activities around Australia Day and go to some regional areas. I've been out to Griffith and mainly around New South Wales. I've done these, but sort of far-flung regions around around New South Wales, and then start touring again in April. I've got a ukulele. Oh, actually, I forgot. I've got the Blue Mountains ukulele group, talking about ukuleles as we were. The Blue Mountains Ukulele Festival is in the second weekend of February. So I'm going to have to relearn all my songs playing the ukulele instead of the 12-string guitar. That's going to be a challenge. I'll have to get a 12-string ukulele.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. I picked up the ukulele in Hawaii. I love it.
Oh, yeah, it's great. It's great. It's a lovely, lovely little instrument.
Yeah, I love that. Dennis asked here, is there anyone you would have liked to have collaborated with but didn't in music?
Yeah, Paul McCartney.
Yes.
Yeah, we could have been a wonderful writing team. Who knows? But that's not going to happen. No, who would I have liked to? No, it's a difficult question to answer. I certainly have some people who I think are incredibly talented. I would have loved to have collaborated or had James Burton, the guitarist, playing along some of my tracks and written songs with him or whatever. No, I think yeah, it's been a pretty happy life, not being involved with anyone else. So I think that's the way it's going to be for the next umpteen years.
Fantastic. And finally, any health tips that you would give on how to stay so vibrant and amazing at 82?
Health tips. Well, as I mentioned last time, I have been a vegetarian for quite a while, but really a lot of this comes from one's parents or one's grandparents, really. So I guess I've got them to thank for whatever health I am enjoying at the moment, and I really am enjoying health. So that's that. But a modicum of well, what should I say? A modicum of music in your life should be part of the recipe, I'd say. Get yourself an instrument. Get a ukulele.
You're lucky I haven't got my guitar here. It's downstairs. I play guitar for you right now.
Yeah, well, that's lovely. That's lovely, Felicia. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
And singing, of course. And people forget that the human voice is an instrument. And I've got some dear friends who run a choir in Canberra, and they work on the basis that this choir can consist of anybody. They don't. It's free. You don't have to be able to sing or think that you are able to sing. You just come along and start singing. And this choir is called the Choir of Worldly Goods, and it's been a remarkable success because it's been going for 30 years or something like that, and it brings people together in the most wonderful fashion. And there's and the lady Moya Simpson's her name, and her partner, husband, in fact, John Shortus, he plays keyboards and he writes songs for the choir, but they also sing in different languages. They sing folk songs. They sing their versions of rock songs. But it just goes to show that you don't have to have an instrument. You can be a musician, or you can get joy out of music by using your voice. And it's just so basic and lovely, and it works a treat.
Wonderful. And you are going to be doing a signing of some products, I believe, at the event. And you've got a gift pack as well.
I'm so pleased you mentioned that. Yes, I'm so pleased you mentioned that, because I've got, here we are. This is the album that I was talking about last week. I've got to make sure it doesn't shine. It's the title, of course, is "Carry Me," and that's the song that I mentioned was the last one that we sang, that we recorded together with Judith. And it's a 3 CD set, and contains 60 songs for 60 years, because it was to celebrate the group being together for 60 years, the 60th anniversary. This will be one of the items in the raffle collection of CDs that I'll give to you to raffle on the day to raise funds. But there's that one. That's so very proud of that one because it's selling really well. And 60 there, and then my solo CD, which is contains songs that I've written and that I a lot of which I do in my solo shows. So that's a solo CD. Then there's a solo DVD. Whoop, here we go. Solo DVD. That's of a concert that I did, and that includes a few of my versions of Seeker songs. And talking about the ukulele, there's my ukulele CD, which contains 2 songs that I've co-written with other good folk based on the ukulele. So that's that. So that's how many that's for. And for a while, a couple of years ago, I got together with 2 of my pals from Canberra, and we formed a group called Lightfeet, the Lightfeet Band, and we concentrated on the songs of Gordon Lightfoot, and that's the CD that we made of that band. On that CD is a song that I wrote as a tribute to Gordon Lightfoot, and so that's the package, folks. There's look, all these.
Wow.
Yes, my dad would love that.
But there you go. So you can buy a raffle ticket and trust your luck.
All for you, Jenny. All for you.
That is fantastic. And what is the value of that prize pack there, Keith?
Oh my goodness, it'd be
priceless.
No, that's a good way of describing it. Yeah, 40,
it will be with your autograph on it all.
Nudging,
sure.
Yeah. Well, that's right, of course, and I'd be very happy to sign them all for whoever is the lucky winner. But I'll be nudging in retail price. I'll be nudging $100, I suppose.
Oh, amazing! Yeah, at least $100. That's phenomenal. Of course, you'll have extras that people can buy as well, and get a photo with you and all those. Right. I know you're sort of flying in and flying out to the next gig. But it's going to be, yeah.
Well, that's what happens. You know, this opportunity came through quite out of the blue, really, through the lovely Lynn Santa, and. So I've got her to thank for proposing me as an artist for the day, and I'm really looking forward to it. So it's going to be great fun.
Oh, it'll be wonderful. Thank you so much, Keith. Is there anything else you want to share? I know you need to run off to your next engagement.
Yes. Well, I just want to make sure that everyone understands how important this particular event is in terms of saving and helping Aussie wildlife. It's something that's close to my heart because there are people in our district who look after injured wildlife. There's Bill Waterhouse just down the road from us in a little town called Majors Creek, just south of Braidwood, and he and his wife Leslie they look after injured wombats. And they are absolutely legendary. I've got to tell you, they're fantastic. Leslie, she's so selfless. Hardly a night goes by when she gets more than 2 hours sleep at a time because she has to wake up to bottle feed orphaned wombats. And so that's really very close to us here. So I just hope that people really get behind it and can support it in the most massive fashion on the 19th of November. Only 11 days away, folks. There you go.
Thank you so much, Keith. Felisa, I think, has a comment.
Yeah, just the last one. I just wanted to let you know that that my company represents donating towards, animal welfare, and it's definitely going to be on the day for Aussie Wildlife, especially for that. So I have an online pet store, and with a purpose, and that's going to be my goal is to donate some of through my products. Would like to contribute donation towards the cause.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So
Oh, that's brilliant. Well done. Well, thank you. That's really lovely. That's very positive indeed. It's great. Positive news. Positive news.
Yeah, good news. The
Yep.
world needs more good news, and it's certainly great news that you're coming to share
Yep.
the stage with some other amazing performers as well, Keith. It's such an honour to have you. Thank you so much for your support. We'll stay on the live stream if you need to hop off this live stream.
Okay.
And we
Thank
look
you to
forward
you
to
all.
at
Next
the event.
time, yeah, we'll
And
see you.
nice to
We'll
meet
see you up
you.
north. See you there.
And
See you then.
actually, just finally, Keith, for those who want to connect with you, what's the best website for you?
Oh, the website, keithpotka.com. All
Okay,
one word,
Keith
keithpotka.com.
Okay.
Well, with the W's in front, but you don't really need that. Keithpotka.com.
Okay, I'll pop that here in the chat there so people can check that
Lovely.
out. KEITHPOTGER.com. Thank you so much, Keith. We'll see you there at the event, November 19. Can't wait.
Yes.
Bye-bye, you all. See ya.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for the
Thank you.
opportunity.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. The legendary Keith Potka from the Seekers fame. What an honour to have him at the Animal Action event, our 17th annual Animal Action Day that we are having for Aussie Wildlife. We have Jenny Abbott here, the founder of Aussie Wildlife, and we have some of our amazing supporters. So, Jenny, I'd love to chat with you next and talk about what you do there at Aussie Wildlife. Some of us have actually been along to your amazing facility there in Narang. Could you share a bit about what you do there?
Yeah, so we raise and release any injured wildlife or baby birds that have been displaced from their parents. So we can have birds from short stays of a few weeks to having them in care for 6 months. So we do actually hold them for quite some time. So we raise them and release them. We get our wildlife from the hospitals, my local wildlife hospital, so Currumbin Wildlife Hospital mostly, and Animal Welfare League at Wacol. And yeah, we just raise, release, medicate, get them healthy, get them fit. They've got big long aviaries where they've got to get backwards and forwards to get themselves fit before we release them back into the wild.
Phenomenal. Oh, it's amazing. I know you don't get much sleep either, right? Last time we hopped on the first one of these live streams last week, you showed us some little baby birds you had there that just got brought in. How are those little birds getting on now?
Yeah, they're good. I think I can probably grab one to show you.
Okay,
He might
sure.
be still. Here he is. He's so he was tiny when you saw him last time.
Yeah, last week.
And,
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
honey.
Aww.
Yeah. So he's yeah.
What sort of bird is this one?
We think this little guy's a channel-billed cuckoo.
Oh.
So yeah, so also it's a bit hard to see.
And so the story behind this one, for those who weren't on the last live stream, can you share the background of this little darling?
Yeah, so his mum was went to Currumbin Wildlife Hospital with injuries, and she was pregnant, obviously, with an egg. And so while she was on an anesthetic, she actually popped the egg out on the table at Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary. So I don't know the outcome of mum, but they very quickly got Bubs over to me so that I could hatch the egg. And yeah, so we hatched him, and we're making him bigger.
I wonder what the story was behind the mum with the anaesthetic. Did you hear
Yeah,
any of that?
no, I'm not quite sure what the story was. Sometimes if we don't hear the story, it may not be a good one. So yes,
Right.
I'm thinking mum didn't make it, and Bubba here's got to fight now so he can replace the family.
Jenny, I saw some photos
Gosh.
on your page. Some interesting looking owls. Can you tell that they're obviously there for a reason?
They're probably the tawny frog mouse. Is that the one where we've got them all lined up? So yeah, one year I had about 15 to 20 tawny frog mouse. They used to all just perch along the perch there together. So they all come in. A lot of them They get hit by cars a lot, especially the adults. It's just, they're going for bugs in the lights and they get hit by a car. And the babies don't, they don't fly very well when they're young, and so they tend to be on the ground a lot and for quite some time. So, and then they're actually up in really, really high trees. So if they fall out of a high gum tree, it's impossible to get them back up there. So the babies come into care for those reasons. So, and they stay here for months until they're big enough to fly. But when they're just born, they're cute. They're a tiny little thing, just balls of white fluff. They're the cutest things you've ever seen. They're just adorable. Love them.
It's amazing what you do, Jenny. I'll come back to you in just a sec. I know Mo has to run off. So just before our beautiful Moana Robinson has to fly out the door, she is the sassy stylist, and she's an amazing lady I've known for 15 years or so. And Mo, now, what is your contribution for the Animal Action Day for Aussie Wildlife?
I'm going to be, I'm sorry about my dog barking in the background. I'm donating a gift voucher, which is of $150 value. So that's an online styling, colour and style session, and also a copy of one of my books. And yeah, I came along to one of your first ever Animal Action Days, and I also went along to see the wildlife at Jenny's place as well, which was fascinating. Got to cuddle a baby swan. So yeah. So I'll be doing that here on the day, and I'm looking forward to it. I think you do a great job.
Thank you, Moana. That's phenomenal, and thank you so much for your ongoing support all these years as well. You are amazing. If anyone wants a great stylist, Mo is your lady, and she always looks fabulous and always very generous as well. So thank you so much. And for people to connect with you, Mo, we say Mo affectionately, and Moana and Karen Clark run Tuesdays on Target, which is an amazing group of ladies there who are very supportive of each other. I've been going along to the meetings for years and love these ladies. They're really like family. And I take my hat off to you and Karen for running that for so long as well. You do an amazing job with that as well. So for those who want to connect with you, Mo,
I've got my link tree there. So the link tree is just the normal link tree page with just BSFL for Be Styled for Life. So I do styling and life coaching, hence the name. And yeah, they're Tuesdays on Target. Anyone can come along to that. Yeah. I've also got a website, bestyledforlife.com.au.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And you do have some gorgeous little doggies as well that are in the background probably wanting to be fed. So
it's been a big day. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Mo. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us.
And to meet you. Okay.
We'll see you on the 19th.
Thanks, Mo.
Yeah, lovely to see
you. See you soon. Wow, it's phenomenal, the people we have involved and who've supported and donating to this event. It's extraordinary. In fact, every single year since we've run this event since 2007, we have had everyone has donated their time. It's been an extraordinary community effort of people coming together and all doing their bit to help animals, and that's really what it's all about. You know, when I started seeing animal cruelty years ago, I just felt helpless and hopeless to do anything about it. And I thought, well, if we can just all do something, then we can make a bigger difference, right? And that's what the whole concept of the animal action events are about, is let's all take some action, awareness, appreciation, respect for animals. We all do something, we can make a big difference. And that could be as simple as slowing down when you're driving around at dusk and dawn, my friends. Now, I just saw another roadkill the other day, and I saw just on Brisbane Road at Coomba, and in fact, you can check my socials out because I took photos of this kangaroo that had been hit, and I didn't know what the pink marking was on the kangaroo, and that means that someone has come along and they've checked the pouch to make sure that there's no alive joeys in the pouch. And just 5 minutes earlier, as I was coming down the highway from Brisbane back to the Gold Coast, and this was actually Sunday, it was Sunday where we'd had some rain, there was a mother and a joey feeding on some grass right on the side of the highway when cars are going at 100 k's an hour. And I was very concerned. I called Wildcare. They said, oh, yes, we've had a few people call in about those two kangaroos on the side of the road. And the last call they had, the kangaroos had actually gone back into the bush. However, you know, they're more active now. It's springtime. The animals are out and about, and, you know, please drive slow. So something everyone can do. What are some other things people can do, Jenny, to help our wildlife?
There's quite a lot of things, really. Feeding seems to be a big issue. A lot of people wanting to feed native wildlife, which is okay, but it's not advisable to overfeed. So you can feed them some bits, but always research what is the best thing to feed them. People will feed mince to, say, a magpie, and a kookaburra, and the mince is actually lacking in calcium and can cause calcium deficiencies in baby birds, so they grow deformed. They can have broken bones and things like that. So plain mince is pretty much a no-no, but even if you use some type of dog food, so even dry dog food, if you soak those in water and make them a soft pellet, that would be a better option for a magpie to feed to them. So people can install non-stinging native beehives. A native beehive is fantastic in the backyard. It doesn't, they don't sting, and they just buzz around, and you can actually harvest the honey from them. It's not a lot, being a native bee, but they're another good option for people to help just nature and wildlife, because the bees, they eat the bees. The bees help produce the flowers and for the honey and for all the honey eaters. So they're a nice thing to have in the backyard.
That's a great idea. Great idea. And of course, no bread, right? Bread's a big no-no. So could you share about
bread? Yeah, no bread. Yeah, some layer mash. You can buy a bag at the pet stores. Much better.
A bag of what? Sorry.
Layer mash. It's for chicken
layer
food.
mash. Oh, chicken food.
Yeah,
Okay.
chicken food. Yeah, but it does have pellets in it which hold calcium and vitamins and vitamin B and things like that. So it's good for them. It gives them a boost. So if they're not getting all the vitamins they're getting in the wild, then at least that gives them a healthy boost as well.
Yeah, there's some great things. And of course, last live stream we talked about the fishing lines, about people being responsible if they're going fishing to take their lines with them.
Yeah.
A
Picking up rubbish.
Caught up. Yes.
Yeah, picking up rubbish along the waterways.
Yes, that's a great thing. One plastic bag can kill a turtle. If a turtle swallows one plastic bag, that blew me away when I heard that. And then often, of course, the plastic breaks down with plastic bags. It breaks down. It looks like actual food for fish and for different animals. And then, of course,
like a jellyfish.
Yeah, it looks like jellyfish. And then people eat the fish, and then they get microtoxicity with the all the chemicals and rubbish in the plastics. And there's a great documentary, actually, I highly recommend you watch, called Bag It, B-A-G, another word, I-T, Bag It. And it talks about how in the last 10 years, we've used more plastics than the previous 100 years, just in the last 10 years. And of course, because so much is coming out of China, they have plastic upon plastic upon plastic with things that don't need to be in plastic. So it's just it's got a bit out of control, really. And, however, even with all that going on, there is still a lot we can do. And there are some amazing people doing things for animals, as much as, there are those that aren't. You're always going to have that dichotomy. You're always going to have the dark and the light forces with the yin yang of life, right?
Yeah, that's right.
How can we bring more awareness to these things? And Jenny, did you actually grow up with a lot of animals as well, or was it something that came on later for you?
No, it came on later. I grew up on acreage. So my father had a motorcycle business and car business. So he was a mechanic. So I lived a very natural life, if that makes sense. So we're out in the bush all the time, and we lived on acreage, and we used to get hands on. And I did have a horse at one stage. So we did have dogs and a couple of cats. So, but I never wasn't really wildlife orientated at that stage. That came later on in life, I think. So, it just fitted in with my life. Came in the right place at the right time, and it happened.
And what's it like for you when you've got animals that come in, and you were a wildlife carer before that with many different animals. That now you've mostly got birds, right? However, you've looked after all sorts of animals, right, over the years. And what's it been like for you? What's the emotional journey like for you, looking after these beautiful animals and then releasing them?
It has lots of ups and downs. We do lose some. We can't keep everything alive. And it's quite traumatic for a lot of carers to be able to do what we do. It's long days, long hours, depending on, and it can be quite a lot of pressure as well. So it's a 7-day a week, responsibility, and we see death, we see harm, we see injuries, and that can be quite traumatic for a lot of carers. You've got to have the right personality to be able to be strong enough to cope with some of that. But yeah, so it's a matter of getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and getting everyone out of bed and fed and watered, and that takes a few hours. Then you feed them throughout the day, and then again you've got to put everyone to bed at night. So cleaning, lots of washing.
It's extraordinary what you do. And I must say, I was shook up after seeing this kangaroo that had just been killed that day on the side of the road. I always stop and pull over when I see an animal on the side of the road that looks sort of freshly hit, just to see if it's still alive. Or and this kangaroo's eyes were open. You can see in the photos that I put on my socials that you almost see the spirit of the animal. When you look at a freshly dead animal, it can be very traumatic. So I can imagine how you would have to toughen yourself up to that, the emotional side of that. You'd have to sort of, have almost like have a bit of a wall around you. Otherwise you'd just become a mess, I'd imagine.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're 100% right. Yeah. You've got to have a very strong wall around you. Very strong wall.
Jenny,
well, it's extraordinary.
Jenny, you may be able to answer this question based on what we were talking about last week. And I know in the little group surrounding this, animal action event that we're chatting behind the scenes, someone, after I talked about the koala that was at the school, someone in the group asked, was it reported? And I don't know. And I'm just curious, just more from an education point of view for myself and those that are watching, where do you report it to, and why is it reported? Why is it reported? And what animals should be reported?
Yeah, so especially with koalas, like Currumbin Wildlife Hospital, they like to know, because they like to actually send their ambulances out if they're behaving oddly. So that koala really seemed like it was in the wrong place at the wrong time. So whether or not there was possibly an illness or something there with it. So Currumbin Wildlife Hospital will send their team out to go and check on it, make sure it's okay. And so for something like that, a species like that, it's very important to communicate to those in the know, so that they can be checked on and made sure that they're okay. Other species, general species, not so much, but because you can take those to the local vet, but a koala is quite different and needs a specialist treatment.
Yeah, thank you for that, Jenny. And actually, when I called Wildcare the other day, they said, "Oh, look, Wildcare is great," because I asked them a few questions, being the journalist I am for years, and they said, "Oh, look, Wildcare is great to call if you're in Queensland." They said if you're in New South Wales or other parts of Australia, they suggested to call Wires or call the RSPCA, was their suggestion. Right now, we know that people don't like the RSPCA for different reasons and whatever, and I'm sure there's people in every organisation. You've got the great and you've got the not so great. However, I think anything we can do to help, and I think in general, most people involved with animal charities generally have their heart in the right place. They generally do want to help, no matter what's going on with the bureaucracy in the background and all that kind of thing. And with some of these organisations, we know that there's only a percentage of the money actually goes to the animals, and a lot of the money also gets tied up in the business side, in the bureaucracy, etc. Which, of course, with a lot of these charities, to be sustainable, they need to have some funding from somewhere. Now, in your case, you have no government funding at all, right? So how do you support yourself?
I work and I pay for it. So yeah, mostly I've been paying for it since I started. So it cost me about $15,000 a year to feed all the animals, and that does include electricity, water, all of those other costs that go with it, and infrastructure costs. So I work. So I have a full-time paid job and a full-time volunteer job.
Wow. And you probably hardly
Which is interesting. Which is interesting because I know when you Google your charity, Jenny, there's a government site that brings up about you. You know, they talk about this is where you should send the animals, but you're saying that they don't support you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
But
yeah.
They're telling everyone to go to you.
But they're not sending money to you. That's what we don't want the money to send to you. Not
Yeah.
I mean, it's great to promote. Yeah, I mean, it all helps, right?
That's right. I mean, look, there's lots of charities out there, so it'd be fairly hard for the government, I suppose, to fund everyone for what they do. So we are volunteer, and we just do our best. That's what we do and what we choose to do. So we can apply for grants. Again, you're fighting, for the grant with a lot of other charities as well. So the government does do some grant funding specifically for certain things. So Department of Environmental Science is very good. They will try to get some funding to carers or care organisations. They've only just started with the carers as well. So it's growing momentum, but we're still a long way from fully supporting the wildlife. There's a lot of support for domestic animals, but yeah, not so much for the wildlife. It's still a bit behind the 8 ball.
Well, that's why we're here, to support you with that, and hopefully, get more visibility and share the experience and tell everybody about you. And I'm happy to promote my time and get everyone to help.
Thank you.
Towards your cause. With regards to the kangaroos, what happens to them? Do you know, like when they're on the side of the road, they've got the pink cross on their neck, then what happens? Who picks them up?
Council, they will come and remove them.
They will? Right.
Yeah, they will. Yeah.
Does it take like forever, or they take it the next day, or?
They generally take the next day. They're pretty good. They do have delays sometimes if they're not able to get to them, but they should, they're pretty good. They do try to remove them as quickly as they can. Yeah. Sometimes the rescuer, if they are able to, will remove them from site. So things like a dead possum or something like that, that they might be removed. But the kangaroos can be a bit large to fit into the boot of the car. So so the council will come and sort those guys out.
I wonder what they do.
When you would have had a fun time trying to pull that kangaroo off the road, didn't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I thought it's so close to the road, and a lot of people, they're on their phones while they're driving, as we know. So, it could easily have just kept getting run over, I thought. And so I just sort of moved it slightly in towards where the bush was. And then someone put a comment on one of my posts on Instagram and said, oh, you should just leave them where they are because, they'll get collected. However, I mean, who knows when and where they get collected. In the meantime, what might happen to that animal? I just thought it's just, it's such an undignified way to go, to be lying on the concrete, the asphalt. So I just moved it to the side. So I mean, even when the council truck comes by, they'll still be able to see it from the road. Right. However, I just moved it back just a little bit into the sort of the bushland or the scrub area. But yeah, it's I just pulled it by the tail, because that's what someone said to me once, is you pull them by the tail with the kangaroo. And I remember once I did it with a kangaroo and the skin actually came off the kangaroo as I was doing it. So I always have sort of paper towels and things in the car. I mean, if it's been sitting there a while, that's what will happen, is the actual fur will come off. But in this case, because it was a freshly killed kangaroo, it was quite easy. It actually wasn't that heavy. That I think it must have been a fairly young kangaroo, the one that was hit. Maybe only a year or two old. I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean, it's still tragic, and you know, whether there's a lot of kangaroos or not many kangaroos, and I know koalas are critically endangered, and with the bushfires, etc., you know, their numbers are really going down, and so I don't think we can take any of these animals for granted, whether we think there's a lot of them out there or not many of them out there right now. We know that koalas, there were millions of them at one point in Australia, and they got hunted for their fur back in the day, and now they're down to 25,000 or so that I know of, last statistics in the wild. So, you know, if we're not careful, we will lose them, you know, if we don't look after them.
That's right. Even the most common magpie, you know, that you think that they're everywhere, but they're actually also in decline.
Right.
So,
Right. That's interesting. Wow. And putting water out, someone suggests put some water out for the birds right now because it is very dry, even though we had that little bit of rain on the weekend.
Yeah, that's right. It's they're desperate for water at the moment. So yeah, just a small dish. So gotta make sure that a baby bird can't drown in it. So the younger ones might come down. They do like to bathe in it. So something that's thin. So maybe, you know, just a thin dish that they can, with some rocks maybe in it if it's a bit deep, so that they can just get in, splash around, have a drink, and then be able to get out if they get too waterlogged, because sometimes they can get waterlogged.
That's a thought, yeah. Or have some a way that maybe have a stick in it or something on an angle that they can just get out on the stick or something.
Yeah, that's right. That's an option as well. Yeah, just be careful of a stick. Sometimes that you know, they're easily knocked out if a larger bird comes and lands on the end and can actually yeah, remove it from the water. So
that's a point. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I have some water out on the balcony for birds, and I have seen a magpie actually drinking from that. And I just have a little container, but it's maybe about that high. So
yeah,
you know, I
that's
don't know.
perfect.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
perfect.
And it's not too deep. Yeah, well, that's a good tip too, right? A lot of people wouldn't think about that either. So, and what about, would it be a good idea to leave just some food out for some of the birds, like some, and if people were to leave some food out, what would be best to leave other than the chicken food?
Yeah, so certainly fruit, peas and corns, and carrot. You know, they're just a frozen packet of peas, corns, carrot. A lot of birds will come in and eat some of those. And it's quite a bit for the animals too. So the possums, so they will like some fruit, maybe some apples, but just not too much, and it's got to be fresh every day. So if you are going to leave it out, just make sure it's changed every single day, so that it doesn't go rank on them. So, and only a little bit.
Right. Okay. Yes. Great tip. Now, Felisa's come on board. You're going to be doing a stall, of course, Felisa. Can you share a bit about your business and why you're so passionate about helping the animals?
Okay. Well, because I am a pet lover, of course, and I'm a high functioning neurodiverse entrepreneur. And I have 3 amazing children that are also that are neurodiverse on the spectrum, but you know, we're gifted, have their uniqueness. And when I thought that when neurodiverse individuals had, you know, difficulty finding a job in the workplace and where we wouldn't fit in, we don't always fit in, you know, we feel out of place because we're totally different kind of people. I think we're weird or something like that. But I wanted to show my children that anything's possible. So that's when Create Packs Australia, I created a family business. And that's how Create Packs Australia was born. And it is an online store, an e-commerce store full of pet supply products. Everything to do with your pet babies. I've had like the future goal in mind is that I'm going to eventually have like puppy bundle packs or big adult packs, you know, in different sort of categories. But we have just about every kind of pet product that's on the store available right now. And so you can go online and shop, and it's with a purpose. There's a purpose to it. Every time you purchase a product, portion of that cost will go towards a cause, and our biggest cause is to the welfare of animals, and especially on the day will be towards Aussie Wildlife. So, and I would like also on that day, I'm going to donate. I would like to put in a raffle as well of $300 worth of pet products that you can pick from my store, whatever it is, up to $300 worth as a raffle. So I'd like to contribute that, and anything else, you know, from the store that they want, and they will find that as being a first introductory offer, you will get 50% off from my store. But definitely, you know, I really want to strongly emphasize that my cause is towards, you know, the love and passion for our pets. And I would love to save all the animals out there as much as what my daughter would, because when she worked when she did volunteer work for the Animal Welfare League, she was so heartbroken because not everybody can save them, right? And she's like, Mum, I just can't stay here anymore because there's all these cats that the end of the week or nearly the end of the year, and they've got no home to go to. And she just, you know, it's so sad. And she's just like, it's not fair. So it's really heartbreaking, and she gets really attached. And, you know, people like us really get attached to animals. I don't know about you. Do you get attached to your pets, or you have attachment to, you know?
Oh yeah, I do, absolutely. I just lost my beautiful tiger cat I had for 15 years a few months ago, and I've just adopted a new rescue cat. It's been a little bit challenging. However, he's just starting to settle in after a few months. And, you know, I think with lots of love, you know, we can help heal even, you know, the biggest traumas in animals with lots of love. That's what I've noticed. It might take a little bit of time, and, you know, for them to trust and open up again. However, you know, I get very attached to animals. I don't like killing anything, to be honest. I even ants, I just, you know, I sort of hurry them along. You know, if I see a whole lot of ants, I just tap the bench and they all scurry off. You know, I don't even like killing ants, or, you know, I am so just so, I guess, yeah, I know. I just don't. I mean, you know, ants carry 10 times their weight. They're extraordinary, right? Like, all animals have got special gifts. So, you know, I see the beauty in all animals. Spiders. As a kid, I used to watch spiders weave their web. When I was in Sydney, outside my window, there was these spiders used to just weave their webs, and I'd watch them make these webs. And I thought, oh my gosh, they're just extraordinary how they build these webs. And yet, you know, someone can just come along and just knock it over in 1 second. Yet it's taken that spider all night to build that web. And, you know, it's just extraordinary when you look at animals. And, you know, I used to love David Attenborough documentaries as a kid. You know, in fact, I still do.
Yeah.
I still do.
I
I just, blows me away. So yes, I get very, very connected to animals. What about you, Dana? What's your story with animals?
Oh, look, my love of animals really just is. I get very energized by your passion for animals. To be honest, Audrey, I'm here mainly because I know this is your event. It's been 17 years. You're very supportive in my business, and so, you know, the least I can do is spread your media releases that you've written. I'd like to share that with my community. Actually, I was at a book fest on the weekend, and I met a gentleman who has a passionate. He actually knows you from you know a few people as well, and he said, "Oh, we're still doing this event," and he can't make it, but he gave me a copy of his book to donate, and this is the book that Andy McD has written about, obviously saving the Chinese tigers. So not animal Aussie wildlife, but there are out there. So there's a bit of a story there, and I've got that. And I guess that's my question: is when is the deadline for donations for raffle prizes in place? Audrey?
Well,
because
right up until the day before. Great question. Cindy Tavner is doing a great job putting together. There's so many raffle prizes. I think we've got more raffle prizes than we've got people coming at the moment. And so I'd say nearly everyone be walking away with something, I would imagine. There's literally an influx of so many amazing raffle prizes. I'm donating some media strategy sessions worth $495 as well. These strategy sessions here. So, I mean, there's so many amazing things that have been donated. So huge hats off. So Cindy Tavner's compiling that. She's going to be printing out the final raffle list on the Saturday right before. So you've got right up until November 18 to let myself or Cindy Tavner know if you have a raffle prize, and she's coordinating all of those. Yeah, thanks for asking that, Denna. And thank you so much, everyone who's so generously donated. It's been extraordinary. And, the funds are all Aussie Wildlife. It's a whole community effort here. It's going to be just extraordinary. And huge shout out to Mermaid Waters Hotel as well. They've been great supporters. They're donating an overnight stay worth a few $100s at the Mermaid Waters Hotel as well, which is sort of the Lone Star where we're doing the event in the Oriana room. And we actually did a bit of quick history on the Animal Action event. Started in 2007 after I watched the Earthlings documentary, which I highly recommend people watch, about how humans have treated animals over time, how we've used them for food, clothing, scientific research. I was very, very upset after watching that documentary, literally holding my throat and crying. A lot of the footage was very hard to watch. And a lot of people will say to me, I can't watch that stuff. However, I tell you what, by putting myself through the eye of the storm, as they say, by actually, going through that, it actually made me even more determined to take action for animals. And I didn't know at that point what I was going to do and how I was going to do it, but I just knew I needed to do something. And then I did a landmark course, the Self-Expression Leadership Program, for 3.5 months, and that gave me the format to do my very first event. I thought I'll just do an event and encourage everyone to just take some action for animals. And that through that same course, Clean Up Australia Day, Red Nose Day, Daffodil Day, all came out from people that did that same course. And it's all about self-expression and leadership and going out in the community and making a difference. And then I thought, well, I want this to be a worldwide annual event. And so each year, even though really it's taken about 3 months of my time each year to do this event, about 1 to 3 months, with different volunteers and helpers coming along the way. Every year we've managed to keep it going. And so for 7 years, we did day events. They were free day events. We had up to 30 performers and speakers at different locations around the Gold Coast, from Southport to Currumbin to Mandalas. We had a few events down there. And we used to have multiple charities at our events where we'd raise funds, and we'd have like the bat people there, the farm animal people, all the different people would come in, and they'd all be supporting each other, which was awesome. And then we started focusing on specific animals each year. And so then we started to do night events. We did sit-down dinner events. We did 6 of those at the Quality Hotel Mermaid Waters. It was called then. Now it's called the Mermaid Waters Hotel. So we did one for orangutans. We did one for horses, for elephants. We've had different animals each year. That we did whales one year with Spirit of Gold Coast. We've had some extraordinary performers. Dean Vegas, world's best Elvis impersonator. Roger Davey from Vivace Entertainment, one of the founders, co-founders of the 10 Tenors. We've had Herb Armstrong, the grandson of Louis Armstrong, perform. We've just had some extraordinary people, and this event is going to be no exception. With Keith Potker from the Seekers. Thank you to Lynn Santa for organising that, who's supported 16 of the 17 events. Lynn has been there. Even through COVID, we took our events online. We did a 5-hour live stream during COVID. We had Nina Chasen came on from Los Angeles. We had Alfred Zerfas from Melbourne. Sings with Fred came on. We had, we had some phenomenal people from all over the world support this event. So 6 years of night events, and then and now we have another night event. This is our first event now. Back after we did a Christmas event last year, and we had a few years where we did some online events. The Christmas event last year we did in collaboration with the Gold Coast Business Laughter Club, and we raised money also for the homeless and for the Healing Hooves Horse Sanctuary. We raised money for 2 years there for SEQ Canine Rescue to help the dogs. We've raised money for Land of the Free for the big cats. So I mean, it's just been extraordinary. Millions of dollars worth of free publicity for the different causes that we've had over the years, and that's a big part of it, is the awareness that we're getting out about these things, as well as whatever money we raise is an absolute bonus, and is very much welcome. And it just goes to show the power of community, the power of when you have a thought and you had a vision, and you know, the power of people coming together. Because what I found in my journey is a lot of people said the same thing, that they really want to help animals and they don't know what to do, right? And now we've got the Sound of Freedom movie that's just come out, and you know, child sex slavery and kidnapping and all that kind of thing is now, you know, a big thing out in the open now, that, you know, all of this sort of thing is starting to come out. And it's extraordinary now, as you know, you plant a seed and the ripple effect of that, you know, you throw the pebble into the pond and the ripple effect can be extraordinary. And so I just want to do a huge shout out and thank you to everyone who's ever supported any of the animal action events, and all of our amazing, you know, wildlife carers, anyone who does anything great for animals. I take my hat off to you, because these are the voiceless. These are the ones that cannot speak up for themselves. And you know, like the children as well, right? The children that you know, get kidnapped and all of that, you know, they also can't speak up for themselves really at that age, you know. So I think helping our most vulnerable in the community, and humanity, helping humanity full stop, having more kindness for others out there, whether they're, you know, human or animal beings, and being kind to ourselves as well. I think if we have more people that love their lives and are kind to themselves and love themselves, there wouldn't be this animal cruelty out there that happens, and we'd have a lot more people doing their bit for animals. So Jenny, for those in the community that do want to support your charity, how can we support you? Do you need more volunteers right now? How else can we support you?
Yeah, there's a few ways of support. Volunteers. So if anyone is interested to coming, it's even just a few hours, one day a week, or even one day a month, just to come in, help clean, feed, raise, get everything organised. They can release wildlife as well. So once we've raised them and they've actually again, we need to take them back to where they came from. So somebody who loves to drive around the Gold Coast might want to spend a few hours just releasing animals for us. There's another way that people can help. They can donate various things like products and towels and anything that they might have lying around at home that they think that anyone could use, or any of the wildlife carers can use. They can donate that sort of stuff as well, and that'll be really, that sort of thing's helpful too. And people can donate their time. So if they're a handyman, they want to spend a weekend helping fix the aviaries, then they're most welcome to come and help as well.
Wonderful. Every little bit helps. So that would
Every
be just
little bit.
wonderful. And yeah, we have some awesome local plumbers that have come on board and helping out.
That's right.
Jason and friends.
And so I reckon I could get my daughter down to help you out and donate her. She would absolutely love it.
Perfect.
She would love it.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. Thank you so much, Jenny, for the great work you do. That's absolutely fantastic. And Dana, for your amazing support, for Lisa, for your phenomenal support as well, and for everyone else behind the scenes who wasn't able to make our live stream today. We do have an extraordinary lineup coming up. We have Tyson Coleman, amazing country music singer, guitarist, who's going to be performing alongside Keith Potker. We've got Licia Malvine. She's an extraordinary singer. In fact, I interviewed Licia 20 years ago when I was a journalist at The Sun, and she was doing shows at the Arts Centre back then. It used to be called the Gold Coast Arts Centre. It's now called Hotter, and she's a fantastic singer. You'll absolutely love her. And we have Xanthi Lees as well coming to perform, another singer guitarist, fantastic performer. We have painted faces, we have face painting, and in fact, kids under 5, I'm going to allow free tickets. They need to be accompanied by people who have a paid ticket, and it is generally an over 18 venue, because we will have a bar there. So for kids under 5, they can come along free. We've got Suzanne Bowles from Painted Faces. She's one of the best face painters on the Gold Coast, is going to be there painting some faces. We've got Lynn Santa coming from Land of the Free to speak. Lynn is extraordinary. She's been on the crusade to help end trophy hunting of endangered animals for a long time now, and she's done some amazing work with the documentaries, won awards all over the world, working with some phenomenal people in Hollywood. Lynn is going to be there. We have Councillor Herman Vorster is coming along to talk about what council is doing for wildlife. And if you have any questions you want to ask him about what council is doing and what they can do, if you have any suggestions for him, I recommend chat to him on the day about what council is doing, because I know there's been a few people not happy with certain things council are doing. And so hopefully I think Herman is one of the better ones there in council. So we can all have our 2 bobs worth with Herman on the day. So it's great that he's coming. We've got Sonali Johri. She's my yoga teacher. She's going to do some mindfulness, some stretching for us as well. We have Annie Burke, the animal communicator, who came on our last live stream. She's coming down from Brisbane for the event. We've got Jill Pryor. She's going to talk about how she rescued an eagle. So we've got lots of really cool stuff. And it's going to be just an awesome day, 10 till 5 p.m. on Sunday, November 19. And tickets at the moment are $45 plus booking fee, or you can buy 4 tickets and get 1 free. And that's just until 5 p.m. Monday. And then the ticket prices are going to go up for the last week. We need to know numbers for catering. So I recommend get your tickets ASAP if you do want to come along. It's going to be a fantastic event. We've got the stall holders as well. We've got Monica Ward, the psychic, coming. She's going to be doing card readings. And we've got quite a few really cool stalls already. It's an indoor venue, free parking. It's going to be amazing. And 10 till 5 on that Sunday, November 19. And bring the family and come and have a great day with us. It really is a celebration for the animals, right? I know some of the things we might hear around, looking after animals can be hard to hear sometimes. However, really, this is a celebration. It's about awareness, appreciation, and respect, and celebrating the beautiful animals in our lives, and all encouraging some action in some small way. And together
giving some love and kindness.
Yes, giving some love and kindness. Together we can all make a difference for our animals. So for those who want tickets, just check out the Linktree link. I'll pop that here in a sec. My Linktree link has all the links. We've got the event currently promoted up on Eventbrite. It's got a few tickets left on Eventbrite. Once they sell out on Eventbrite, they're going to be on the Humanitix link, which they are on Humanitix as well at the moment. We've got the event promoted on Meetup, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. We've got on my website. We've got on different news sites. Channel 9 came out and did a story. Thank you to Channel 9. And I know there's other media also going to be covering the event and covering what's going on as well. So thank you to all our media supporters and sponsors. Over the years, we've had Channel 7, we've had Channel 10, we've had Gold FM, which is now Triple M. We've had Hot Tomato support, Breeze FM, Rebel FM, 94.1 FM, 101.1 FM, 4ZZZ. It just goes on. The media support for CRB has been extraordinary. ABC, Gold Coast, extraordinary media support over the years. So huge shout out to all of our media supporters and sponsors. We love your work. Scene Magazine, gosh, it just goes on. Source Magazine, so many different outlets. The Sun, of course, we have many front page stories in the Gold Coast Sun, the Bulletin as well. So thank you so much. Any final words from any of you here before we wrap up this live stream?
I again just want to thank everyone for their support. It's just really is overwhelming, the generosity of people and the effort that people are putting in. So I'm just amazed by it. I'm almost speechless. I don't know quite what to say, but I'm just so thankful. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome. I wanted to say thank you for inviting me here. And
can you only be involved in the raffles and donate by being at the event, or is there a system set up for your annual action events in this case, so more can participate in the fundraising process even if they can't come to the event? Because you say you have all these amazing prizes. I just that's something that's
Yeah, well, people can give a donation online through Humanitix and through Eventbrite as well. They can make a donation directly through there, and I'm sure through Aussie Wildlife directly. We just like to keep it at the moment so we know how much we've raised from the event. So at the moment, we're leading people to Humanitix and Eventbrite for donations, and people can donate prizes even if they can't be there. Usually what we do is that we say you have to be there to win a prize. However, I think it'd be good to open it up, considering how many prizes we're going to have, to actually open it up that people could buy raffle prizes if they can't be there, to or raffle tickets to support the event. So yes, I would say, private message me about that if you want to donate some money and put it towards some raffle tickets. We can put some raffle tickets aside for you to go towards that, or you could just make a straight out donation as well if you can't be there physically at the event. Yeah, so good question there, Dana.
Would there be like a live recording when you're doing the donation thing, or not really?
Live recording.
Like,
well, I mean,
like how you mentioned when people can't, go there, so they could have the experience of getting it drawn out, just like watching Lotto, But
it's
an idea, but
yeah, well, people could record on their phones. We have actually live streamed some of our previous events. We've had a live stream option for people that they could actually hop on a live stream for the event. We haven't actually set that up for this event, although I think it is a good idea to do it. I think it's a good idea to do it. We just haven't organised that at this point. But yeah, I mean, we've got Jeff Tester from Tester Power is going to be doing the AV. So thank you to Jeff Tester there. Tracy Corman from Two's Company. She's always been a great supporter of our events as well. So I mean, we probably need a few more hands on deck to manage that. But yeah, I'd say we probably could do a live stream.
There's a call out. There's a call out there, people. If you're able to help out with the live stream, contact Aldwin.
Yeah, contact us and we'd love to thank you in return and promote you. Everyone who comes on board, we're going to give free promo. We'll be mentioning you on the day, and we have an animalactionday.com website as well. Thank you to Saul Edmonds from great website company as well. Saul from he's been a fantastic supporter, and graffiti stickers over the years. Have done our stickers. We've had little animal stickers here. We've had so many amazing supporters over the years, and just want to thank all of you, really. I just want to thank all of you for so Saul is from Roundhouse Creative, just forgot the name there for a second, from Roundhouse Creative Agency. So he came on and did the website many years ago. The website's still up to this day, so you can see some stuff from our previous events there, thanks to Saul from Roundhouse, and graffiti stickers there, and so many others over the years have supported this event with all sorts of different different things, different ways. We've had Martin Renault did one of our live streams once from Freedom Potential. He's now in Sydney, so Martin and Anastasia, so thank you to them for their support over the years. Gosh, so many people I could just keep rattling off. So yes, everyone who comes on board, we very much appreciate you. And it's all good karma, of course. When you give, it always comes back, right? Always comes back tenfold. So
I'd like to give you a gift too, old one, so don't worry.
Oh,
towards your pet. Why not?
Oh, thank you, my little Pablo. He's sitting right next to me, actually. He was running around before, making a lot of noise.
Anything you want that,
thank you.
I'm happy to help.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
You're
Well, I'm open to receiving as well, right? Once upon a time, I said, oh, no, don't worry about that. However, I think it's good to give and to be open to receiving. It's that flow, right? Having that flow there. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and everyone's generosity. It blows me away as well, Jenny. Like you, blows me away how many people have just hopped on and said, yep, I'll do this, I'll do that. Where else can I help? Which is really, really cool. So thank you so much for that. And now, Dana, where can people connect with you, beautiful?
I've got a Linktree link as well. It's a Linktree and Dana Connects. I put it in the chat there for you. If you want to pick that up.
Dana Connects. And can you let us know a bit more about what you do and how we can support you as well?
Yeah, sure. Look, I've got a marketing platform for transformational travel. I'm essentially in the travel industry. I've got the Travel Mini Mag, which is about to be relaunched as a magazine. There will be a podcast. I work with Travel Globe, and Travel Globe are agent solutions for experienced travel consultants that are wanting to unleash their entrepreneurial spirit and to be their own business. And I guess that's part of the reason why, for me, animals and travel are connected, because as we talked about last week, I have get very passionate about making a difference and collaborating and growing in areas of animal conservation, whether it be with the elephants or whether it's with people that are helping other animals in other parts of the world. You mentioned the orangutans, obviously. So earlier that you already supported. And yeah, I just know people in that space that are very passionate about the animals overseas, which is why I guess I've connected with Lynn Santa over the years as well. But yeah, that's what the travel show Australia is about, and just with some of the things that are happening, it's going to be the travel show global now that we can travel again around the world. So, Audrey, we've got some things in the works, with what you and I do together in a marketing and a promotion sense. And you've always been my media guru person for the travel show when we first started it. And yeah, we had a bit of a break because of COVID, because it changed the travel industry. But we want to help the travel industry recover. That was why the magazine began during COVID. And yeah, I'm just going to develop it again. And I'm excited that I work with someone that does agent solutions, and I'm the marketing solutions. And I get to create, love what I do, and I get to create, I guess, my business around travel, because that's freeing, and I enjoy it, and yeah, I'm passionate about that. And I guess the journey of travel for me is also about self-development. Travel for inspired growth.
What, love it. And you are called Denna the Connector for a reason. You're very well connected on the coast, and we certainly are a dynamic duo in many ways on the marketing front. So it's fantastic to have you on board, Denna, as well. Thank you so much for all of your support. And it's just, it's going to be mind-blowing. Can't wait for November 19 for our amazing Animal Action Day for Aussie Wildlife, supporting beautiful Jenny Abbott and all of her animals in care at the moment, all the wildlife in care, including the little babies right beside her, probably waiting to be fed right now.
Exactly.
So thank you so much, Jenny, for that. And thank you, Felisa, for your lovely donations. So generous of you. Amazing. And having a stall there so we can come and check out. Please support our supporters. Please support our amazing people that are coming along. And if you can't make the event on the day, you can still donate. You can buy raffle tickets. Just reach out, send me a private PM on Facebook. You'll find all my links, including the link to get your tickets. If you do want to join us, buy 4, get 1 free. Price will go up after 5 p.m. Monday. So I recommend hop on board while you can at the $45 plus booking fee for 1 ticket, or buy 4, get 1 free. It's an absolute bargain. And it's going to be catered as well. We've got some platters of food coming out. We're going to have tea and coffee there included, as well as all the entertainment and everything else. And we'll have a bar there. You'll be able to buy some drinks for those over 18. And kids under 5 for free. Kids under 5. Now, if you've got screaming babies, then, obviously, might need to pop out if the babies are screaming during the entertainment, right? However, they can come and get their face painted with amazing Suzanne Bowles. So thank you for all our performers, our speakers, our donors of prizes. Absolutely extraordinary. Any final words from anyone here? I know this could keep going for another hour or so, because I just love chatting with you guys. However, we will wrap up shortly. Any final words?
You can't wait to see you
all.
all.
My mantras, as you know, Audwin, I like to say, make a difference, collaborate and grow. And this evening's obviously all about that for Jenny and Aussie Wildlife. And then, travel, inspire, grow. So please, if you're aligned with that, please get involved in animal action.
Love that. Thank you so much, Jenna. And Felisa, what's your final words?
I just wanted to say, yes, I feel honoured to be here, and thank you for having me here. And I totally support everything with animals. Right at the core of my heart, my passion for animals, and I can't wait to see you all in person and enjoy the day. So thank you for having me here. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, Felisa. And thank you so much to Karen Clark for referring you our way as well. So
yes, shout out to Karen Clark. Yes.
Yeah,
she's
shout out to Karen. That's wonderful. I can't wait to see all your goodies that you have with Create Packs as well. Create Packs
Absolutely.
Australia. There it is there. So all those links are in the chat. createpacksaustralia.com.au. And for Dana, of course, go to linktree / that's linktr.ee / Dana Connects. And final words from Jenny Abbott from Aussie Wildlife.
Take animal action and save our wildlife today.
Yay! Awesome. Oh, I love it. Take animal action. Yay, I love that. And you can check out Aussie Wildlife on Facebook. And I notice you've just got over 300 likes now, which is awesome. It's growing.
Yay.
It's no longer the world's best kept secret. No longer. Facebook.com / Aussie Wildlife 1, the number 1. You'll find that Facebook page there. And for those who want to grab some tickets, hop along to linktree / Aldwin, linktr.ee / Aldwin. We're in the middle of the Step Up, Speak Up challenge, and Felice is actually on that with a whole lot of other people. So you can still come and join us.
Really
7 a.m.
Really helped me. Thank you.
Oh, great. Good on you. Well, you've stepped up and you've spoken up. Well done, Felisa. We've got that challenge until Friday, so you can come and join us on Zoom tomorrow at 7 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. If you'd like to join us, we've got the replays of the first 3 days in the group, so come and join that. All the links are at linktree / Aldwin there, as well as the Global Good News Challenge is happening right now for November, sharing gratitude and good news. We've got a Present with Power event coming along. And for anyone who wants some media marketing support, then just connect. You can book a free connection and clarity call as well in my Linktree links there. And if you haven't checked out the YouTube channel, Media Queen TV, there's over 1,000 interviews, some amazing, inspiring content on there. Just interviewed Pat Mesiti this week, who was an absolute legend, who's spoken on stage with Jim Rohn, Bob Proctor, Richard Branson, a phenomenal guy, and someone I've admired since I was 16, since I first went to his Youth Alive events in Sydney, and now 33 years on, there we were doing an interview online. So you might want to check that out, and many other amazing, inspiring interviews. John Dwyer, who brought Seinfeld out to Australia, interviewed him recently. And my final closing thought and quote for the day is one from Mahatma Gandhi, and it's one of my favorite all-time quotes: "Be the change you wish to see in the world." Be the change you wish to see in the world. And that's what we're all doing here at Animal Action Events with the Animal Action Day for Aussie Wildlife. November 19, Quality Hotel or Mermaid Waters Hotel, right next to the Lone Star Tavern, free parking. Come along and join us 10 till 5 p.m. And you can still grab some tickets at a reduced price until Monday, 5 p.m. on this link here, linktree / Aldwin. Humanitics, or a very few left on Eventbrite. Hop along. We hope to see you there. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Jenny, Felisa, Dana. Thank you to Moana Robinson, who was on earlier, and Keith Potker as well for joining us today on this live stream.